welcome back to the Ketchup Corner.
I'm Megan.
I'm Benson.
And I don't know shit. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Do you want to tell them what we're talking about today?
Oh, more Jim Henson.
Yes, more Jim Henson.
More Jim Henson Company, to be exact. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. There's some stuff in there. Everyone's favorite film, Mirrormask, and I guess Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. So, should I explain the lore of this, why we're doing all three movies, or should you?
If you want to, go ahead.
Okay. So it's literally just, people associate this as like the dark fantasy trilogy, which is interesting because Labyrinth, I feel like, isn't all that dark, but I digress. It's like a more dark fantasy tone, like old school fantasy, if you will, which I guess is dark fantasy. So, basically, if you look at a lot of DVDs, they have all three movies bundled together. These are like the last big three movies, I'm pretty sure, that weren't Muppet produced, or involving the Muppets, I should say. These were the last original pieces for the Jim Henson Company, two of which were directly involved with Jim Henson himself, and then there was Mirrormask, which was just brought on by the Jim Henson Company. So, it's a great time to be had. Cannot wait. I would like to apologize in advance, sorry, because I mentioned Dark Crystal production a lot when it came to these shows. I forgot that it was 1982, and the storyteller and the likes were afterwards. So Dark Crystal did not hinder any production value at all. So I apologize. I'm a fake fan.
Oh, speaking of the last episode, we're also talking about why the storyteller got canceled, and I guess we did look it up afterwards. It was due to parent involvement.
Parents being dickheads.
And that parents didn't think it was child appropriate. So my comments about making it child appropriate, apparently, it was not.
Censorship is real. That's crazy. It's the same reason season 1 of Dr. Seuss changed, along with just them thinking they could capitalize more on the trend of Big Bear in the Big Blue House, or the Big Blue Blue. So, yeah. Crazy shit. Censorship is still alive and real. I love that for us, truly. What do you want to talk about first between the three? Are we doing reverse order? Are we doing in order of release?
I want to end with Labyrinth.
Oh, okay, perfect. So it's going to go Mirrormask, Dark Crystal, and then Labyrinth?
Yeah,
okay.
Yay. I do feel the need to say one of these is going to be my first big negative review on this podcast.
It's going to be Dark Crystal.
If you can't handle somebody not liking one of your favorites and one of these is your favorite,
I'm sorry, no we're not.
You can either skip ahead, I will give a warning, or you can watch it and feel free to leave your comments in the comment box. However, be respectful, because this is not me hating on you, this is not me hating on the creators, this is just me expressing...
That's my job.
This is me expressing a dislike for this particular movie.
Oh, lay it on me. I know
it is not Dark Crystal.
I knew it. It's Mirrormask.
Okay.
Yes.
Mirrormask in and of itself, and we can start with this one, is not a bad movie.
Carry on.
It's one of those movies that I will sit down and watch. I sat down and watched it once. Honestly, never even thought about it again until we started talking about this podcast. And really wasn't one that I cared to go back to. Even when we were talking about watching it for this podcast, I didn't remember any of it.
Yep.
It's not even one of those movies that I would sit down and put on the background and just think, like, what I consider a mid movie is something that I would absolutely put on the background, like
go ahead and keep talking.
The Mario movie. Is
something that's so mid.
Is mid, but it's something that I would put on in the background and just sit and watch. However, this one, I just didn't particularly care to revisit. However, on the first watching, I didn't think it was bad. However, comparing it to Jim Henson, which Jim Henson was not a part of this whatsoever. This
was early 2000s.
Yes, this was way after he passed. It was created by an author. The original script was created by an author. Like, he had no hand in this whatsoever, but it is a Jim Henson production.
Yeah, they did. There is still puppetry in here, and surprisingly, a lot of CGI.
Which is my complaint.
I
think I wrote here right away that this felt nothing like a Jim Henson movie.
It sure don't.
Okay, I'll talk about worlds more later on when we talk about the Dark Crystal. But something that I love about Jim Henson's worlds is sometimes they almost feel like a character in and of itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one, I hated the world.
Yeah.
It was so, literally so flat and lifeless, and there was nothing in it. Like, even in his darker movies or TV shows, he's able to make the world seem interesting. This was not that.
Oh, you can tell, literally. I don't think anybody, if I remember, from his original team was a part of this. I don't think Catherine Mullen, who I've blanked on the name a lot before, but I remember her. Catherine Mullen, Frank Oz. I don't think Richard Hunt. I don't think any, because some of them did pass in the 90s as well. I don't think anybody was involved in this from the original team. I think Jim Henson Company just gave a production value, helped with some of the puppeteering and experimented with CGI, and that was it. And this feels like a Linkin Park music video.
What?
What do you mean, what? I know what I said.
What do you mean?
Have you not seen the music video for In the End?
No, I don't
Literally, the
think
CGI looks like that. How have you not seen
I
this?
don't
We grew
think
up with
so.
this fucking thing.
I didn't really watch music videos.
We grew up with Linkin Park.
I know, but
In
I
the
was
End was like
listening
a
to the
meme.
I was listening to the song, not the music video.
You definitely have seen the music video in a meme or two.
I might have.
Like, literally, if you watch the music video for In the End, it definitely is like, how do I put it? It's like that. The CGI looks like that. Not that great. Impressive for the time, maybe, but not that great. And even then, I don't even think Mirrormask's CGI was that great for the time.
It was not good.
No.
If you're gonna compare it to, like, okay, maybe if this was part of a different production company, then okay, maybe it would have been better. But you're comparing this to Jim Henson.
I mean, even comparing it on its own to what's in that time frame, no, it's dog shit.
Which I was so surprised.
It's a fever dream.
So we did have the DVDs, but I think the Trilogy collection we sold because we had the two movies that we cared about.
Yes.
So I found this on YouTube it's for free with ads if you want to check it out. It's one of the only 3 that's on YouTube that's free. Mm-hmm. And I was just looking through the comments because I was really curious to see if somebody else agreed with my opinion. And the reviews were all positive.
I mean, it generally is a mixed positive reception.
But, some people were saying that it's the best Jim Henson has ever created.
Whoa!
And I'm like, I don't understand that.
No.
Because it is far from it. Like, first of all, he didn't even work on it.
I don't even think Brian Henson worked on it.
Second of all, if we hadn't gotten that trilogy... or that DVD pack with all 3 movies, I wouldn't have even known it was a Jim Henson movie.
This was the time where a lot of Jim Henson productions, even the Muppets, were failing. Like, it just felt like a weird era where they threw everything at the wall, nothing sticked, and everything was low ratings. Like, I think this was, like, the decline of Jim Henson Company. But they did find ways to still help with stuff. I mean... You look at the early kid years, and, like, they had the Hoobs, and, like, they were on the Hub, they re-aired Fraggle Rock a lot. They still, for a while, before the big the Muppets movie in 2011, I think it was, they still found ways to be involved and make productions that I don't think, if you didn't know, or you didn't watch it, you wouldn't have known it was Jim Henson, you know?
No, and I think, for the most part...
This is one of them.
For the most part, the company did such a good job with keeping his legacy going. I think this was the exception.
No, this is dog shit. I'm sorry.
It's not a good movie.
I think my original review of this, because I'm on Letterboxd, was like 2.5 stars, which is like out of 5, like a 50%. I might even go lower.
Yeah.
I might go lower. I'm sorry. Nothing about this to chime in is memorable to me. The story was like a fever dream that just felt so fragmented. The world had nothing interesting about it. It just capitalized on what dark fantasy was in the early 2000s, and a lot of movies were in the early 2000s, to rant for a second, which was just gritty, edgy filters. And that's it. And it did an even good job. You know what this reminds me of? And I mean this in a semi-derogatory way, because I don't remember much from that movie. Their live-action remake of Alice in Wonderland. Disney's. I mean, that one seems like it was good. I don't remember much, but it has the same vibes.
You know what? I was thinking that too.
Like, not, and I don't mean it in a derogatory way towards the story. From what I remember, the story was good, but the world itself is like, it feels like literally they looked at Mirrormask and went, we could do it better, and somehow they kind of did. Even though I still feel like it wasn't that memorable. But again, I have to rewatch that, so that's just my opinion.
It's not my favorite adaptation of Alice in Wonderland, but it's decent.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I mean, that sounds about right. That lines up with every live-action movie Disney does. So, surprise, surprise, honestly. But I just, I mean, I don't even remember much of, like, the world. It was so trippy and dreamlike and not in a good way.
It was so flat.
Yeah.
And like, literally, the characters were okay. Another thing that I like about Jim Henson's works is even the smallest character, he manages to make it seem like they have their own culture, and it makes you curious about what those little creatures are in the behind the scenes. But in this one, the characters are literally flat. I don't care about any of them. I did enjoy the human characters, or the human actors. Their acting was really decent. And it did make me, like, curious to see what else they had acted in. However, even they can only work with what they're given, and they're not given anything in this movie.
The French. Unreal. Disclaimer, I love the French. I'm kidding. Hi, Sarah, if you're watching. This is where I think I'm going to bring up a previous point as a question to you. Does it feel like they genuinely, the CGI ruined it for them?
Yes.
Because the way we talk about how the Muppets and the puppeteering, there is some forms of puppeteering in here, I feel like. Very, very flat puppeteering nonetheless. Even then, does it feel like the CGI and the flat puppeteering just kills the vibe and the acting? Because I feel like you brought up last episode, the humans interacting with Muppets as if they're their own people is amazing. So, yeah. I mean, does that kill it?
100%.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell if there was puppets in here. Like, it literally just felt like everything that was not human was CGI.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is... Okay, now I listen, I'm not trying to hate on this movie. Maybe I'm harsher than I thought. Maybe I'm going back to episode 1.
No, I'm being really harsh in this one.
Oh, just wait till this comment. I feel like you're right about me being harsh on episode 1 looking back on it, because I'm about to say something that feels weird. It's not as bad as what I'm about to say it looks like, but it looks and feels like a movie you would make in AI.
Yeah.
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 I just, it's so fragmented. There's possibilities there. In retrospect, maybe I have to, like, rewrite my review, and because I feel like it's a 2-star, 1.5 star for me now. I just don't vibe with this world. It's so weird and not in a good way. It just feels like they throw a lot of ideas at a wall and it doesn't stick. Do you remember who the author name was that directed this?
It's an author we don't want to talk about.
Oh, him! Oh, no, that explains it. Ew.
Okay, so should we say his name?
You go ahead. I'm gonna go yell at our cat because I hear him crinkling in something.
All right, so Neil Gaiman is the author of the screenplay, and he's not an author we're going to talk about very often. I know we keep on saying, like, all of these things like we're not looking to talk about, but in some cases we do have to talk about them. We're not going to dive into works of problematic people that often. We are going to talk about, like, if it comes up, we will talk about them, and we'll just happen to let you know we don't support their works because they are problematic people.
I forgot he was a part of this. But
yeah,
honestly, now it all makes sense. It all makes sense, actually.
But those are his world, so it makes sense in that aspect. However,
it doesn't work on the screen.
It doesn't work on screen this way. And I feel like if this was made when Jim Henson was alive...
It'd be so different.
Or if it was even made by the team that he loved and trusted, it would be so different. It'd be so much better. I think the execution in this was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
And my final note that I have to say about this is
French.
It feels like we have Jim Henson at home.
Oh my god, whoa. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I hate to say it, but you're right.
I know.
It's so disgusting. I feel like there was such potential here.
There's so much potential. It's a decent story.
It's just not executed right.
Not
and
executed
I hate
right.
that about it. I hate a movie, a book, a video game, something, where the ideas are there, but the execution is not there. And it's not completely bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely a 1.5 star, 2 star in retrospect. And it's being held up by the ideas alone. And maybe 1 or 2 scenes I remember looking at being like, man, this is the funniest fever dream ever. So
it's interesting as a fever dream, but
not a movie.
Not a movie.
Not a movie. Sorry to anyone that likes it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I yeah. Because I see why people like it, you know? I do. I really do. It's just not for me.
It just doesn't hold up if you're going to compare it to Jim Henson Productions.
No. Well, I mean, it is Jim Henson Productions, but other Jim Henson Productions.
But is it, though?
Yes, technically, by name, by trilogy. By name, just like Jesus Christ is by name to Christianity, so, just saying, you know. So, on that note, let's actually talk about some good stuff, and I'm scared for this next one. I'm scared for this next one for you. I'm really scared.
Why are you scared?
I don't know. We were watching this the other night, and I'm very scared because I could see your facial reactions. You didn't react to much, and I'm scared of that. So go ahead, give your thoughts.
I enjoyed this one.
Oh, thank God.
I enjoyed this one.
Woo!
Do I think it's my favorite of the 3?
Oh, God, no.
No.
No. This man spent a lot of time on this project.
I know. This seemed like a passion project.
He worked so hard on this.
And you can tell it was such a passion project.
He made a whole world and everything. Like, his team was in... I didn't realize... I had forgotten at the time. His team was fully involved in this. Even if they didn't lend their voices. Frank Oz and Jim Henson are puppeteering the Skeksis. Jim Henson's the, like, you know, one of the Gelflings. Frank Oz, Catherine Mullen was in there. I think he had his entire team puppeteering at least, maybe lending their voices in some points. But Frank Oz and Jim Henson didn't lend their voices. I was looking at stuff and they're like, our voices are too recognizable. We don't want to put ourselves in this. So they just puppeteered everything. But like Catherine Mullen, Richard Hunt, I'm pretty sure, Frank Oz, his whole team, his A-team was literally in this the entire time. And you can tell, I feel like. You could tell this was like something everybody was all hands on deck for, in between Fraggle Rock and everything else going on. So, yeah.
Yeah, I 100%. I really enjoy it. You can really tell how much care and effort has gone into this. Let's start with the puppets, because this is what I was getting into earlier, where Jim Henson, when you're watching a Jim Henson movie, you know it is Jim Henson because you can see all of the different puppets. No character feels like a minor background character. There are no extras.
Fizzgig!
There are no extras in Jim Henson Productions because of the way that he makes them. You can tell that there's care behind it. You can tell that there's love and passion behind it. And you really look at these characters and think, okay, like there's a group of these guys over here. What are they? What is their background?
Skeksis,
right.
especially.
It makes you so interested in learning more about the world. And we actually have a book.
The sequel trilogy.
Well, we have those, but we also have the one that I got you.
The prequel.
But we have the clan or
yes
thing that literally like goes into all about the Gelfling. And do you want to explain what this movie is actually, because we didn't explain?
Oh, well, it's about a crystal. Roll credits. Okay, so basically, The Dark Crystal is a dark fantasy film where you're in this world of Thra, which was originally Mithra, but it's just Thra for short because it sounded too familiar to a god and a religion. Eastern religion, I'm pretty sure. Thra is literally the land. The Skeksis rule it. The Dark Crystal has fragmented, and there are the Mystics and the Skeksis. We follow our main character, who is, he believes, one of the last Gelflings after the Skeksis essentially went on, say it with me because people are too pussy to say it for some reason, a genocide. Pussies. I'm just saying. Why are we afraid to say that word? it's what's it's I carry on. So basically, we follow this quest.
Jin.
We get Jin. Yep, I was gonna say quest. I'm trying to say quest, but yes, the name Jin. He is given a quest after being raised by the Mystics to basically save the world. He doesn't know it yet. He has to piece together the puzzle himself, and by going on this quest and meeting all these wonderful people and wonderful creatures, and gets a fragment of the Dark Crystal, and he has to reassemble the crystal by putting the piece in it, by invading the Skeksis castle before the Great Junction. Yes, I can't speak. And if he fails before the three suns align, before the three suns align, the Skeksis shall forever rule. It is a world that is dying. The Skeksis are literally running it dry. You get the feeling that even looking at the Skeksis and how little they're remaining, you get the feeling that if this crystal isn't reassembled in time, the whole world's going to go to shit. Not just because the Skeksis will ruin it with an iron dictator-like fist, but because, quite literally, everything is dying, and so are the Skeksis. They use this crystal for power. They drain life essences to keep their youth, but it doesn't work. The effects are waning because they used all the Gelflings for it. It's literally a world that is on the brink of dying and you're curious about, but don't know much of, and don't have much time to know much about, because it's literally dying. What you see is what you get from it. So that's my summary.
But you see so much.
You still see a ton.
So much. No two locations quite feel the same. And it was so interesting because I had read the
prequel.
First book to the prequel series.
Yeah.
And just seeing these locations is exactly how I pictured all of the locations in the book.
Yep. It's a great world, and it's a very philosophical musing compared to what... I mean, Jim Henson's always had some interesting musings about everything, but the two becoming one, the battle of good and evil, and the yin and yang of like greater beings, it feels like he had a lot to say in this movie without directly saying it at times, and if he did, he said in a very philosophical musings. So
yeah.
It's a very interesting film into the psyche of Jim Henson and humanity. So I'm glad you liked it. I was going to be sad. Oh, yeah. Thank God.
I loved it. I did. I personally have a little nitpicky thing.
Go ahead.
I feel like I was so focused on the world and the beauty of the world and the creation of the puppets that I didn't really connect with the characters.
Yeah.
I definitely rooted for them, and like obviously I wanted them to win, but I don't think I was really grasped by them the whole time.
They are your typical hero. It's a typical hero quest, which is valid. Like, you get, I mean, the most interesting characters you get are the Skeksis, and that's mainly because the Chamberlain and his wonderful isms. So I get that for sure. And then there's Fizzgig, who's just literally a violent ball of fur.
I think he was my favorite.
I mean, that's you like your animal figures. I
do.
I was gonna say cute, but he's not really that cute.
He's cute. He's a little fluff ball.
With razor sharp teeth and goes,
Yeah, but if he likes you, he'll let you cuddle him.
But he was screaming when he almost got left behind, and it was like a hellish scream.
I would scream too if I got left behind.
Okay, that's valid, I guess. But then he almost got punted into lava anyway, so whose fault is that?
But he was fine.
That's fair. So, I mean, it is a very typical hero's quest. Jim Henson for this one especially, and I feel like you could say this a lot about his movies and other works that aren't in the world of the Muppets. He focuses on the world more than the characters, and it just all falls into place.
Yeah.
Which is valid, and it works for this, because it is a typical hero's quest. I feel like if it wasn't Jim Henson's immersion in storytelling, this wouldn't work as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it is a typical hero's quest, you know, in a philosophical musing, like, piece together as you go sense.
Yeah.
So that's my piece on it. And even then, the world is not his entire vision. I wanted to bring up to you.
Oh?
It got gypped.
Gypped?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Gypped? The Skeksis weren't originally going to speak English.
Interesting.
There is basically clips, and actually every single one, I think if I remember right, every language was going to be non-English for the most part, especially the Skeksis. The Skeksis were going to speak a form of a mixture of something with Arabic into an original language, and that was going to be the whole time. There's actually scenes on YouTube you can look up. Like, the throne scene where the Emperor is dying is in that language. But everything tested so bad originally that they had to rework it with English and dub it over, I think. If not, refilm it. Because test audience were so distracted by the subtitles, they felt like they weren't paying it. It's literally a dub versus sub anime argument in Jim Henson. So, and again, a lot of his hands were tied in some ways because of production interesting. Like, again, Dark Crystal's such an interesting time because it was like the biggest project he had ever undertaken, I feel like, and spent years working on. Literal years fighting for. And and a lot of movies and shows we got on the side, including the Muppets, because people were like, all right, we'll finance this, but we want more of this, or what else you got in the bag. So he threw stuff out there for it, just so he could fund this. And he then lost the rights to the movie after his buddy got usurped when it was originally... I forget the company. It's a Defunctland video, though. Fantastic video when you're looking at the history of Fraggle Rock. But basically, Jim Henson pulled a gangster move, and he bought back the rights to his own movie and did it himself anyways. So it paid off. But even then, he still didn't get a lot of creative freedom with his movie because a lot of test audiences were like, I don't get it. So that's the interesting part. And I feel like in our wrap-up, you should watch some of those scenes online or on the behind the scenes on our DVD, I think, just so you can see if it was like, if the movie would have been better with these intent or if it was fine the way it is and you agree with test audiences.
Yeah, that's interesting because I am the kind of person that gets kind of distracted by subtitles sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I could see how that could be a problem. But at the same time, yeah, I think I don't know. I would be really intrigued to see how he would have played that out.
I'll have to show you the scene after the recording for sure so we can add it for the wrap-up. But, like, literally, he spent so much time making all these languages. And the way they described it is that, especially for, like, the Mystics and the Gelflings languages, I'm pretty sure, certain European cultures can maybe piece out words because they'll recognize some words, but they can't understand the whole sentence. Like, he mishmashed a lot of shit to get these languages. So it's very interesting to see. And I don't even think the whole movie, like, is in those languages. I think it's only pieces that have survived that are online and on DVDs now. We don't have the whole movie as originally intent, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. So all we have is what we got for the few scenes. So yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to check that out and let you guys know what we thought. What do you think?
The movie?
'Cause you watched...
Oh, I love this movie.
Or, no, I meant about what we were just talking about.
Oh, the original scene?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's me being a world builder and a writer as a whole, but, like, I think they should have kept it in. Mm-hmm. I think they should have kept it in. I think it makes the Skeksis sound more intimidating. Like, they sound pretty intimidating with their own vocal stems specific to each one, which is another praise that you've talked about already and how everyone has their own distinctness. But I feel like this made him even more interesting, horrifying in a way. Like, what is wrong with these guys? Because the new emperor, the general that takes over, that Skeksis, he has, instead of sounding like a gruff general, he has a lot more of like a hiss and a snarl to him that echoes, which is very fascinating to me. So, yeah. And the Chamberlain still sounds like his sneezing, conniving self in a way, so it's not like all was completely lost. They still translated it to English perfectly fine without a lot of intent of these characters being lost, but I think that's more a testament to Jim Henson's amazingness than having to scramble last second as a whole. So that's my piece on that. Soundtrack bangs. That bangs so hard.
Yeah, we couldn't talk about the music too because I had just watched Labyrinth again for this. And so comparing this music to Labyrinth is a little different because they both take very different take on music, where Labyrinth is a little more...
Well, fantasy music specifically.
Fantasy music.
Yeah.
Yeah, Labyrinth is a little more lyrical. Like,
it's a literal musical,
yeah. And this one basically takes that music and makes it more like Sound of Nature.
Ambiance is what you're looking for.
Ambiance, yes.
Skyrim, Morrowind, Baldur's Gate, Pillars of Eternity, Dungeons and Dragons, those fantasy worlds. So, yeah. It is very good in that regard. So, any other thoughts you had for this movie?
Do you have any questions for me?
And that's my question. Any other thoughts on this movie? Because I have another question, but I want to know what else you think about this movie.
No, I think we've pretty much covered anything. I really did enjoy it. My only little nitpicky thing was the characters.
And again, I feel like that's just Jim Henson's writing. Like,
I disagree. I think this is the only movie other than Mirrormask where I didn't connect with the characters.
Really?
I think this is the only movie.
Well, I mean, Labyrinth has some good ones.
I have thoughts.
I feel like
about
that's
that
an interesting. I feel like that's an interesting exception,
Which
but like,
we'll get, yeah.
But like his other original stuff, you know. But then again, a lot of the original stuff is the storyteller, where it's retelling myths. Dog City was also stereotypes of a genre as well.
Yeah. Like
he creates good worlds. Sometimes I feel like the character building, when it isn't Kermit the Frog or Fozzie Bear or such, is not there. Which is still commendable because the world makes you care about the characters, like you said, which is a good analysis. And it's like Fairy Tale, which you like a lot because the world feels like a character itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Okay. Favorite Skeksis. Which one?
That's what you want to ask me?
That's enough. Everyone has a favorite. Fucking pick one.
I don't think I have a favorite.
Everyone has a favorite.
They're all assholes.
Okay, which one's the greatest asshole?
Them.
Which
None
one?
of them.
Which one's the biggest asshole?
All of them.
Damn, you're lame as fuck.
I don't like them.
You're lame.
They are probably the worst villains ever, but like because they're supposed to be. They're probably one of my top 5 hated villains.
I mean, they're literally killing everything, so yeah, that's
exactly.
Valid. Top 5.
I don't like them.
Who's number 1?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so here begs the question, will you watch the sequel series?
Yes.
Which technically is the prequel series.
Yes, and I wanted to watch it for this so bad, but we didn't have time.
Yeah, well, we can do it in the wrap-up. It's 10 episodes. You certainly can.
We can try, because we have a lot of other episodes and TV shows that we have to watch.
Because they do go into a lot of why things are as they are, which they borrow from the books that we have and made it a TV series. And they go into a lot of the races that were killed off / part of a genocide by the Skeksis. Like, they literally, the Garfim were literally zombified from previous races. And they explain it in the Age of Resistance. And they show it, and it's crazy. And it leads into basically the Garfim War, which is a huge part of the lore, because that's how the Gelflings fall off and are killed so quickly because of that.
Such a shame it was turned into a Netflix show.
No, it's not a shame that it's turned into a Netflix show. It's a shame that Netflix likes to fucking ruin everything.
That's why I said it's a shame that it was turned into a Netflix show.
I hate
it. Because Netflix likes to cancel all of their series. And
like they're still and they're still interested in telling the story. They're like, if we're always shopping, we'll find a way if people really want to see it again. Like, holy shit, the production value for this is so hard. Like, the Skeksis are even more lifelike, which is hard to do, it feels like. The Gelflings are more lifelike. Oh my god, Mark Hamill is in it. Like, they got an all-star cast for this one. Like, for 10 episodes, they went ham. And, like, The Dark Crystal has easily some of the best intriguing fantasy build-up ever, in my opinion. And Age of Resistance just builds it, which is why I'm getting pissed. I'm getting pissed. I'm getting pissed. I'm getting pissed. I'm good.
Are you?
No. But that's my thoughts on The Dark Crystal. I love it. It's a shame we're in this cycle where Jim Henson Company wants to do intriguing things. Everyone hypes it up online and then goes, never shows up, which is what's going to happen for The Muppet Show probably, because we can't have nice things. How dare you ruin this with Sabrina Carpenter? Like, do this for Sabrina Carpenter. Show up for her at least. Please. I love you, Sabrina. Speaking of love, let's go into the last film, which I'm excited to talk about.
What is Labyrinth, honey?
The greatest film of all time. Trademarked. That's it. Why don't you explain this one? Go ahead.
So, at the beginning, we follow Sarah. She's a bit of a theater kid.
Yeah.
She is on her way home to babysit her little brother because she's basically forced to babysit her little brother.
Teenage angst.
Every single weekend, which she's really pissed off about. And because she's at home babysitting her brother and he's crying, she basically says that she wishes the King would come and take him away.
From her fantasy tale she reads.
Yes.
So she's like, let me tell you a story, Toby.
And the Goblin King does come take him away, so she has to spend the next hour and 40-something minutes trying to get her brother back.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Trying to get him back.
So my first note, and I don't know if you're going to laugh at this or judge me for it.
Yeah.
This movie is the epitome of don't meet your heroes.
Yeah. This, like, the Goblin King, in all intents and purposes, is creepy as fuck. This is a grown adult basically saying, like, during, like, the climax where she rejects him and frees Toby, basically being like, I adore you, say what you want, I am yours, I will be your slave, word for word, almost, essentially. Like, in all intents and purposes, the Goblin King is an asshole that took her baby brother away, kidnapping, quite literally, first of all, and then proceeds to hit on said teenager.
Yeah.
In all intents and purposes, that's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. But, I mean, it is about teenagehood and growing up and all that fun shit. So, I guess that Sarah's realization would be like, damn, you creepy as fuck. You have no power over me. And then, boom, he's gone.
Yeah.
Good times. So, it is the epitome of that, absolutely. Great
Yeah.
note.
Touching on that, I do think that at the beginning, like when I first watched this, I thought Jennifer Connelly's acting was so overacted, and honestly I thought it was bad, but like the more you watch it, the more you realize that's literally just
the intent.
Sarah as a character. However,
Sarah's a teenager. She overreacts to everything.
However, I felt like we got that theater kidness at the beginning, but it didn't continue throughout the movie. I think Jareth took over that role.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing though. Again, this is Sarah being a teen. I'm gonna park it right here for you, sister. This is literally Sarah on a journey growing into adulthood, and basically, you know, she's this bratty teen that's overreacting to everything, hence the theaterisms and being the epitome of a theater kid. Like, she is trying out for all this theater stuff, obviously, they talk about, but, like, she is literally a drama queen because she's a teenager at that age, and she overreacts to everything and thinks everyone's out to hate her, and that now that she's growing up, her way is right, and that she's a full adult and can handle everything, and doesn't need to do this shit. So, of course, as the journey goes on, she's gonna lose that, because this is her taking the hero's journey and realizing, A, maybe I'm not as grown up as I thought, and I have a lot of maturing to do. And she matures by the end, honestly, like through all these trippy dreams and fantasies and all that shit, and realizes that what she wants and what she sees is not exactly the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing on that. Jennifer Coolidge is hot as fuck.
Connelly.
Coolidge
is...
Oh, fuck, the villager! I knew I was gonna mess it up. I knew I was gonna fuck it up. It was gonna be Five Nights at whatever I said earlier in this podcast. Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's what I did. Oh, no. Okay, Jennifer Cooley's hot. Connelly. I mixed them up again.
Honey.
I know her name so well. I always say her name. It's always when I go on screen that I become a dumb fuck. Oh my god. Don't touch me. I don't want to be touched.
Oh no.
She's hot as fuck.
Okay.
Like, genuinely, like, if you, like, I think we all had a young crush on her in high school, if you watch those movies. You know? Just saying. So,
right.
And she's hot now. Just saying.
We've talked a little bit about set design.
Mm-hmm.
But something we haven't really talked about is set design and camera work.
Whoa, this is some of the best.
And I really want to talk about it here because this is probably one of the best examples that I can think of other than Nosferatu.
Whoa, wow.
Probably one of the best examples. To be able to take a labyrinth like that and a set design like that and make it feel like it goes on and on, even though you're probably in like just like a 4-room wall. 4-wall room. I said what I said.
Yeah.
And just being able to make it seem like it goes on, and there's all these different characters, and you never know what you're going to run into at the next corner is honestly phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised. I can think of way better examples. The list goes on and on, but I do agree with that. It has great camera work. I mean, it's also different from Dark Crystal in that regard, because Dark Crystal likes to emphasize close-ups, but then when it isn't close-ups, it's wide shots of these fantastical parts. Labyrinth really does a lot with medium shots, close-ups, wide shots, and makes the best out of every camera you can to make it seem forever. So, no, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, I loved it. And I think I wrote this note while I was watching when she first gets into the labyrinth and she's running by and she walks into the worm.
Oh, the good old worm.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
That shot is probably one of my favorites in the movie. Mm. Not only because you get to see the worm, which you still haven't worn your shirt, by the way.
Okay, don't mock me.
My sister got them a shirt with the worm on it that says, hello.
That worm's great. Love that worm. I love everyone in this movie, but we'll get into that.
Do you want to talk about the music? Okay, I actually have a question for you.
What?
About the music. Because obviously David Bowie is a starring character.
Yeah.
Did you love David Bowie before this movie? Or was it because of this movie that you found a love for him?
Okay. I had heard of David Bowie lightly before this, but then I think it's because of this movie I grew to love David Bowie even more. Because I had heard his songs lightly in high school. I was a big Pink Floyd. I was the typical kid that grew up with my father's music. You know, Def Leppard, Pink Floyd, Dropkick Murphys for the New England folks, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I still like those bands. David Bowie was never a part of that rotation. So it was lightly through other places that I heard him, but I never delved into him because this is before we had streaming services. So when I didn't really have a touch phone, iPhone thing until late high school. So I had my iPod and I bought my music. So I never got to buy the music really and explore with it on my walks and all my other stuff in cars like I did or do now. David Bowie cemented himself for me because of this movie and because of his range. And then I was like, damn, I should get into his other stuff. Because then I started being able to have an iPhone and stuff in like senior, junior year of high school and was like, cool, I should look into this stuff. And then I was like, oh my God, this is amazing works. And Labyrinth is genuinely just like the lightest showcasing of the great multi-storytelling his songs can do and what his artistry is. This man is literally a fucking chameleon because this man can adapt to any music at any time. This man opened for 9 Inch Nails in the late 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did you not know that?
I didn't know
I'm pretty
that.
sure he opened for 9 Inch Nails, if not had been around the same festivals as 9 Inch Nails. And that is how we got some great music, like you know, Little Wonder, 7 Years in Tibet, because he started playing with that industrial sound. So, yeah, of course, obviously. This man literally can adapt to anything. His last album was a jazz somber farewell, along with light rock. So, I digress.
Yeah.
I could go on about the history of David Bowie. That's not my podcast. But this movie is... Wow, you're slinging the questions my way. What a twist.
I know. I have one more for you, but I'll ask that at the end.
Okay. But David Bowie cemented himself in my life because of this movie. Because this movie became so integral to me. So, yeah.
I personally... And this is not a dig. I personally feel... There's a but. Just listen. Let me finish my sentence.
Cracking my knuckles.
I personally feel like this movie 100% could stand on its own without the music.
Okay.
But I think the music just adds to it.
It's David Bowie.
It just makes it that much more phenomenal. And I can't see anybody else in the role of Jareth the Goblin King other than David Bowie.
It's David fucking Bowie, baby.
And I do wonder if they had always had plans for it to be a musical, or if they cast David Bowie and then they just decided to add music.
I forget that part, actually. That's a good question. I forget that part.
I know, because it just... You can't have David Bowie as a star and not include musical numbers.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of his acting doesn't include musical numbers at times.
Which is wild.
But this man is an actor and musician and everything. This man literally is like a jack of all trades. This man literally like can act his ass off in such an amazing way. This man was Nikola Tesla. Okay?
Really?
Yeah, he was in a movie as Nikola Tesla.
I didn't know he did any other movies other than this one.
He has a huge fucking list of like movies he was in. Like he was phenomenal. And you know who else he was? He was a voice actor too. He was in a very popular special from our childhood.
I know, the SpongeBob
Atlantis SquarePants.
Yep.
The King of Atlantis, and yet they didn't use him to sing. Which is wild to think about. You got a musical-based special, and you don't even use David Bowie? That's wild.
I thought that was weird.
I think he also actually, fun fact, wrote a song for the SpongeBob musical.
But he didn't sing in it.
No, because a lot of artists wrote for that musical. including things like David Bowie, Panic at the Disco. It literally, they got a bunch of artists to write for it, but they never performed it because it was a SpongeBob musical. Like, the actors were going to do it. So, yeah, that's my 2 bits on the day. This man was everywhere. It's like Tim Curry. You would not think he is everywhere, but he is everywhere. And you don't realize it. It's not like Mark Hamill, where even though he's a phenomenal actor and voice actor, you can tell by certain isms in his voice that he does. But it's like Tim Curry, where you just don't realize it.
Yeah.
And then you look deeper and go, oh my God, he really did define my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, David Bowie and Tim Curry were everywhere. And it's phenomenal, like, speaks wonders to their acting and their amazing range. So I digress.
Yeah, there have been rumors about there being a reimagining of Labyrinth.
No.
And I don't think you can do it without Bowie.
Unless you're putting me in there, I don't want to fucking have it.
I know. It would take a very, 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 very special actor.
Me.
To recreate Labyrinth. I read a book that was supposed to be a retelling of Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
And was probably one of my least favorite books that I've ever read because it just didn't fit the version of Labyrinth that I had in my head.
Yeah. It's just you once you see what the script was written for and see David Bowie's acting, you never unsee it. You never unsee what he brings to the table, whether it's pondering in the distance or being his this commanding in a very jester kind of way character. Like, this man literally commands the screen and steals the show every second he's in. And he's in, 30 minutes, I want to say, of the movie? It feels like 30, 45?
Yeah.
Including the musical numbers? Like, this man is a fucking genius. Speaking of genius, world and characters.
Love it.
We haven't talked about the puppets. This is the longest we've talked about a Jim Henson production without the puppets and the world and all that shit.
Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
Do. All right.
Honestly, I love this world. I won't say it's my favorite world of the 3 because I think Dark Crystal has it beat.
I do agree. Yeah. No,
I think you can tell there was definitely more time and effort spent on the Dark Crystal.
Oh, for sure.
But the puppets, the characters, there's just so many different characters.
Even the Goblin Army has different versions of themselves.
No 2 ever feel the same, and it just adds to that dynamic, and they have personalities. I enjoyed the puppets in this one and the characters in this one way more than I did the Dark Crystal because they all had personalities, and could get to know them, and I feel like
Ludo. Yeah.
Go ahead, ask me who my favorite character is.
Who's your favorite character?
Ludo.
I knew it.
I love him in the same way I love Totodile and Fuecoco.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I have a soft spot for characters with low brain cells.
Ludo's one of them, huh?
And Ludo is one of them. I know I forgot to bring them down, but we have a Funko Pop of Jareth the Goblin King and Ludo.
Yep.
And Ludo's like a tall one.
Yep.
I love him.
Shout out Hobble.
So much. Yes, Hobble.
Hobble.
Hoggle.
I know. I did that on purpose. You were supposed to say the line. Damn. It's Hoggle.
It's Hoggle.
What a guy.
I love
what a
him
legend.
too.
What were you going to say?
I don't know. I was just saying I love him too. Not as much as Ludo.
I thought there was going to be a butt in there, and I'm like, uh-oh.
There is no but.
Okay.
I love all of them.
Was there ever a moment you feel like the world was either too much or not enough?
No.
Not at all?
I mean, I think there's a lot you can do with a labyrinth.
Yeah.
I think...
This was creative. I don't feel like I could do it, like, the drill scene, the fucking 2 doors, and immediately following afterwards, like, the tunnel with the hands and shit, forming faces, the avant-garde puppeteering for that with just using hands to form faces. Like, Jim Henson brought his A-game for this. He really did. Like, the world lore is way more interesting in Dark Crystal, but the way the puppeteering is brought to life in Labyrinth, in my opinion... miles better in Labyrinth.
Yeah, which I think it's really tough to have a world with all these different pieces and still make it feel like it's part of one. And I think he still did a really good job of that. Could he have done something more? maybe.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think for what it was phenomenal and probably one of my favorite worlds of all time.
They did a great job, and it all really helps with, like, you know, Sarah growing up. Like, she's had to apply different things to different people, backwards people, hypocritical people, dramatic people, and in a way, she sort of sees reflections of herself at times, you feel like, in her facial expressions talking with people. So it adds to her growing up and learning that journey on the way. Favorite musical number?
Dance Magic Dance.
Okay, that's
100%.
Oh, that's tough. Because, like, As the World Falls Down slaps. So
It
that
does.
scene's amazing.
It's a good
that's
scene,
amazing.
but no, Dance Magic Dance.
And Within You is a great one too. You can't pick a favorite song, I feel like, easily with David Bowie.
I can.
Okay, all right, laugh it up. But Dance Magic Dance is like one of the best musical numbers for sure.
It's iconic.
It's so iconic. He's so fucking good. I think actually in the recording studio he made the baby noises.
You know, that wouldn't surprise me.
No, this man literally does everything for
Yeah.
himself. He carries the weight of his world on his shoulders. He's amazing. But he is so fucking good in this, genuinely. And you could just, the behind the scenes, you could tell everyone was having such a great time. Like, they used a trick person to, like, when he was juggling the crystal balls, like, he would be stationed behind. All right, laugh it up. I knew we were going to say that at one point if I mentioned them. But, like, he was juggling them, like, the 3 crystal balls. He would have, like, a person, or, like, anytime he was doing huge tricks, they would station a person behind him, which in a way is puppeteering if you look at it, and use the arms of that person acting like it was on Jareth. So, and the chemistry between Jareth and Jennifer, and, like, David and Jennifer is phenomenal. For the weird, creepy aspect Jareth brings to Sarah's relationship, their chemistry still of Sarah trying to get what she wants and Jareth having fun with it still is phenomenal. I cannot say enough about this movie, but I feel like you should say more because this is technically you watching this shit, not me. And not me!
Do you have any questions for me?
Ooh, what else is there?
Or any more questions?
Okay,
that
wait.
I should say?
We talked a lot about David Bowie's soundtrack.
Yeah.
What he brings musically. You said this movie stands up on its own. Soundtrack for this movie in general, when it wasn't David Bowie.
I loved it.
Okay.
I think it's great. That's why I said it can definitely stand on its own without David Bowie. I mean, well, without David Bowie's music.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I can't picture anyone else in this
But
role. I'm sorry.
I think David Bowie's music adds to it. But then, like, you don't really need that because of all, like, the rest of the soundtrack and how wonderfully it fits into the whole movie.
And even when there isn't music, everyone just having so much fun. Like, everyone brought their own personality to this movie. And it's so wonderful. And there is a sequel manga.
Yes?
There is, I will say. So, let that manga be. And don't do any more movies.
Yeah.
Please don't. You're gonna ruin it for me. And I'm gonna be so... I will be so harsh with Labyrinth 2. I'm gonna be so harsh if that's still happening. Because there's no way in hell they're gonna get anybody to even remotely come close to David Bowie. It's one of those movies where I feel like you cannot touch it. You cannot touch it. And it's weird to say about Labyrinth, which I don't think a lot of people care about as much compared to me. You cannot touch Labyrinth, in my opinion. It's one of those things where everything's perfect as it is. Let it rest. It did what it needed to do. Let it rest.
Yeah, I think the rumored Goblin King was supposed to be, what, Tom Hiddleston?
No, I
And
I like him.
He's a good actor, but nobody can touch this role.
No, I like Tom. I really do. He's a phenomenal actor. Let it be. Let it be.
Yeah, I think I already know the answer to this question, but who's your favorite character?
Mine, Jareth.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah. David Bowie is phenomenal. David Bowie is hot as fuck. David Bowie is just bringing so much fun, and I love my villains. And he's a great child movie villain. Like, he brings a lot of fun to the table. He's just such a hysterical dude. Like, he's genuinely one of the most intelligent beings out there.
Yeah.
And it shows. And he takes a lot of care into his role, no matter whether it's musical or his stage personas or an acting role. This man is a jack of all trades. I cannot say it enough. And shout out to him. Definitely think, honestly, otherwise, the two doors, or the guardsmen, the riddle guardsmen are pretty good too.
Interesting.
Worm's great. I like Ludo.
I like the Worm.
I can't pick anybody. Other than Sheriff. This is a tough one. Everybody was fucking great. Even my little Fox Knight dude. Love that guy. What? Do you not like him?
I didn't like him as much as the rest.
I mean, he was introduced pretty late, so I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Like, he's good, but I feel like he didn't get to do more hijinks like everyone else.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, my little fox guy walks in. I forget the name off the top of my head. I am so sorry.
I don't remember his name.
I love you, sir, but it definitely is a testament, I feel like. Like, he comes in so late. He's a knight, for sure. He's funny as hell, though. I love when he's just beating the shit out of everything, trying to be heroic. Dude is literally
Don't worry, we have them surrounded. You did not.
He is so funny. He is slapstick comedy at its finest, and I love that about him. But even him, like, even though he didn't get much screen time to be as memorable as Ludo or Hoggle himself, I wanted to say Hobble again to see if you would catch on, but I figured you wouldn't. So Hoggle, Ludo, even the Worm for the brief time he has, even just like the fucking tile, like the little people under the tile that change the directions and everything to fuck with Sarah. And have been historically known to not say the thing that we all think they say. They say aardvark.
Aardvark.
There's a lot. I thought it was just me in high school. Apparently, everybody thought that person said what they did.
He
did not. I can assure you. But, yeah. I mean, the world is just so good. The world and the characters are amazing. I cannot say enough good things.
What's your favorite location?
Out of all three movies?
Out of all of the movies. Well, Labyrinth. I mean, you could do all three.
Labyrinth is the unconnected labyrinth, so that's tough to say.
I know, but there's also, like, different areas of the labyrinth.
Ooh,
there's the doors.
I'm not choosing.
There's the Hall of Hands.
You can't.
There's the Bog of Eternal Stench.
I'm not choosing. I'm not choosing. You can't make me. What's your
there's
favorite?
There's the castle itself.
What's your favorite? Go ahead.
I liked the Bog of Eternal Stench.
I should have guessed. I should have guessed that one.
I don't know why, but it just seems like an interesting thing to create. Where do you come up with this shit?
Probably looked at his kids and went, "Oh, you stink." And thus the Bog of Eternal Stench was born.
I don't think that's what happened.
But okay, I'm not gonna choose one location.
You can't
but across
choose?
all,
What do you
I'm not
mean?
choosing. Your Honor, I refrain. But out of all three movies, I will say Dark Crystal has the better built world lore-wise.
Yeah.
But damn if I don't love Labyrinth. Damn if I don't love Labyrinth, dog. These are both 5-star movies to me. I can't choose.
I think, and I know right now for anybody watching on YouTube, I'm about to get the "You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward" face from Benson when I say this. I think not only is Labyrinth my favorite of the three, but it might be one of my top 5 favorite films of all time.
Welcome to the club.
If you're watching on Spotify, I did just get the face, by the way.
Welcome to the fucking club, Squidward. Welcome to the club, Squidward. It is so good to have you here. It is so good.
I have one final question for you, and this one is really important, and you will be judged on your answer.
Okay.
Would you still love me if I fell into the Bog of Eternal Stench?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. I mean...
Aw, you do love me.
Yeah, I would still love you. I would just wear a nose pin everywhere I go, so...
I don't even think that would help.
I'll try, for sure. What about me?
I would still love you.
Aww.
We would just have to sleep in different beds.
Aww. All right. Well, there's your answer. Cool. Nice. You heard it here first. I guess that's it then.
I think so. That
Cool.
was actually a...
We are so good at going the full hour. I am so proud of us.
I thought for sure, like, at the beginning, like, because we spent so little time talking about Mirrormask, that we weren't going to make it to an hour.
Dark Crystal and Labyrinth were that good. What can I say? Jim Henson finds a way again. What can I say? He's a genius. A jack of all trades, if you will. All right, any other thoughts?
Nope.
All right, we went in the ranking, I think, again. Just like the shows.
Yeah, we went in the exact ranking. So at the bottom for me is Mirrormask, then Dark Crystal, then Labyrinth.
Down here, way up here. Way up here. But like the distance between Labyrinth and Dark Crystal is shorter than the distance between Dark Crystal and Mirrormask, for sure. All right, cool. So, you want to tell them what we're doing next episode?
The next episode is going to be a little bit of an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not watching all the episodes for that one because it's such a long show.
It's such a long show, we have to remember how we get there.
Exactly.
Can you tell us how to get there?
Next episode is Sesame Street.
Yeah. We had to. I feel like we had to. So we're gonna comb through the internet, and we try not to like go off reviews. We try to form our own opinions, obviously. But it's a 1,000+ episodes still going strong.
We're not watching all the episodes.
And that's not even including specific segments. I feel like that we could just go into and not specific episodes in regards to newer ones. But Sesame Street is so integral to everything Jim Henson, even now that like. We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's the one that is still technically alive going on now. The only surviving Jim Henson production, I think, in my opinion, that has been there since the beginning.
The only thing that I know of Sesame Street that we are going to watch immediately is going to be Elmo and Grouchland.
Yeah.
Because I want to watch that again.
Yes, you do.
But I don't know about any other episodes, so
Follow
it's really
That Bird.
We could do that too.
Have you ever watched that movie?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is funny because this is my revelation I teased last episode. This is going to be interesting for me because other than Elmo and Grouchland and Follow That Bird very rarely, and this Halloween special we had that we should watch just for the fun of it, I never was a Sesame Street kid. I wasn't as much. I would watch it sometimes, but I wasn't as big of a Sesame Street kid as a lot of people were. And as an adult now, I can appreciate and respect it, but I didn't watch it a lot because I was stuck on Bear in the Big Blue House, Pokemon, and all that shit. So this is going to be interesting for me.
This will be so interesting. All right, our question for the week is, have you watched all 3 of these movies? And if you did, which one is your favorite?
All right, here's a follow-up question from me. Would you still watch this podcast if we were stuck in the bog of eternal stench? Because let's face it, it's such a strong stench, you can feel it through the I almost said microwave.
The microwave.
You can feel that shit when you put your phone in the microwave, baby. You can feel it through the microphone. It's like SpongeBob of his bad breath and just going, and it just destroyed everything. So yeah, there's your follow-up question from me.
That's a good question.
That is a very good question, isn't it?
All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in the Ketchup Corner. We love you.
We'll catch up with you next episode.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Oh, that should be the outro.
I like
We'll catch up with you next episode. Bye.